to Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Welcome back to the Scrapyard, friends, for part 2 of the Porsche vs. Lamborghini Challenge. This one is gonna be big.
If you missed any of part 1, you'll definitely want to go back and watch it because that was some of the most intense action the Scrapyard has ever seen.
But for everyone else, here's a quick recap of the scores from the end of part 1. The SP's in the lead at 8 points, and Team Lamborghini's up by 2 at 13.
So, do you have any predictions you'd like to make before we get back to the track?
Well, I think in part 1 I made it pretty clear that I quickly became a fan of the Carrera 4S and that four-wheel drive system. It's the heaviest and arguably slowest car here, yet continually manages to outdrive everyone. Just impressive. How about you?
You mean us?
Don't start that again.
Actually, I'm on the other side of the scale. I'm a fan of the lightest car here, the Gallardo. It might have only crossed the line once in the very last race, but it was spectacular. Plus, it's put on quite a show on all the other races. The GT3 and the SV are strong competitors, but the Gallardo, it's a rock star.
Well, I'm sure the fans didn't tune in to hear us chit-chat. They're here for that racing action that only the Scrapyard can bring. So let's get down to the track.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Here we are at the starting gate. The officials, wasting no time to get part 2 underway, have already cleared the track.
Okay, well, hopefully I can rattle off the lineup before the gate goes up. Race 4 has the Porsches up front with the Carrera 4S in lane 1 and the GT3 in lane 2. Lamborghinis take the back row with the Gallardo in lane 3 and the Murcielago in lane 4.
3, 2, 1, go!
Are Porsches blocking Porsches?
The SV going for the pass.
But he doesn't make it!
The Gallardo stalls out.
So much just happened there.
Then you know what that means. Let's go to the replay.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Upon analyzing the replay, it seems like the Lamborghinis were...
Playing dirty?
No, now let's not start pointing fingers. I was going to say, using their horsepower and position to their advantage.
Well, as soon as the gate goes up, the Lamborghinis use the extra horsepower to push the Porsches into the left wall. Look, right there. Do you see it? Do you see it?
Yes, of course I see it.
That should be against the rules.
Well, you were the one that read the rules at the beginning of the tournament.
Oh yeah, never mind then. From the camera drone, you could see how the Gallardo pushes the Carrera 4S into the GT3, trying to get the Carrera 4S to spin. And before you say it, yeah, I know, but thanks to the trusty four-wheel drive system, blah, 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 blah.
But the Carrera 4S does manage to straighten out, and the GT3 uses that to an advantage to bump draft slingshot around so fast that the camera drone loses sight of it.
In a turnabout is fair play maneuver, the GT3 sends the Gallardo into the wall. That might be the quickest payback in Scrapyard history.
But look at the SV, the sheer amount of power in that car. Once it sees the GT3 going for the win, the SV downshifts and gives that V12 all it has. Had this been a longer track, it might have outran the Carrera 4S.
This isn't a long track. It's the Scrapyard.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Yeah, we know. Look at that Gallardo. It got what it deserved. Trying to push the Porsches against the wall, and it ended up stalled out and the only racer not to cross the finish line.
That's right. This is the first race where both members of either team cross the line. So let's see how that milestone changes the scorecard.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Well, what can we say here? Cheaters never win. Might doesn't always make right. The Lamborghinis came with a plan to push their way to a 1-2 finish, and it totally backfired. The SV was grasping at straws for his third place win and 2 points, while the Gallardo gambled big and lost even bigger, ending up with 0 points and his third DNF for the tournament. Meanwhile, the Porsches became the first team to not only cross the line, but to also get a 1-2 finish. So, shifting into warp drive got the GT3 5 points and first place, plus a very respectable second place and 3 points to the Carrera 4S, whose expert driving skills not only saved the team, but delivered a big win.
That big win just tied the GT3 with the SV for first place in the individual standings. And now let's see how that big win affected the team score. That 1-2 finish delivered a massive 8 points to Team Porsche, making this the highest scoring round of the tournament. And Lamborghini, who started off Part 2 in the lead, is now trailing 15 points to 19. They need to deliver something magical in the last race if they want to take it all.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
That last race was intense.
Yes, and now it all comes down to this final race.
So much is riding on this one.
The individual and team wins are still both very much in play.
Yeah, literally any car could still win this, even the Gallardo. If the Gallardo wins and the other three DNF, then it's a three-way tie for first with the SV and the GT3. Or if the Carrera takes it, there could be a two-way tie with the GT3 or SV.
Yes, I know. That's why I said everything was still in play.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this gate to go up.
The officials have given the all clear.
3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off!
The SV cuts for a block. Oh, a huge wreck! Let's check that replay.
I don't believe it, a four-way DNF!
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Here you can see all four racers leave the line evenly.
Yeah, and they all have the same idea to block each other.
And since the GT3 is already against the wall, he has nowhere to go.
You can see the SV miscalculated coming off that downhill and smashed into that first metal barrier.
Sending the SV ricocheting to the other side of the track.
And look at the Porsches trying to seize the opportunity and flank the SV by driving around on each side.
The SV sees it has no way of winning, so he just feverishly shifts from drive to reverse to keep those Porsches at bay. That was the best and most successful bit of blocking we've seen all tournament. And since it's a four-way DNF, there's no need to check the scorecard.
Yeah, that's great. Come on, let's get back to the gate.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
We are back at the starting gate for the final race.
Maybe. The chances of another four-way DNF are just astronomical. This has to be the race that decides it all.
Okay, no more talking. The officials have cleared the track.
3, 2, 1, go!
The Gallardo pulls out strong.
The Porsche's wrecked.
It's the Gallardo. Did he just tie first place?
No, the GT3 crosses the line.
Let's see it again.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Here you can see the Carrera immediately blocking the SV to keep all that horsepower at bay.
Then the Gallardo blocks the Carrera and the GT3 tries to block them all. It's a triple block.
But the GT3 cuts in too hard, comes off wrong on the downhill and bounces off that metal barrier.
And that creates a wreck and a pocket big enough for the Gallardo to squeeze through.
That was all the Gallardo needed to hit the accelerator all the way to the finish line.
Miraculously, the GT3 manages to restart the engine and make it across the line while the Carrera 4S and the SV remain stalled out.
Not only did the GT3 make it across the line, but it managed to upset the Lamborghini's chance at winning it all. Amazing! What a way to end the tournament.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Here we are for the final scorecard of the tournament.
With a win by the largest margin in the tournament, the Gallardo gets 5 big points. Not enough to win it all, but enough to tie Lamborghini teammate in the SV for second place. Unfortunately, the Carrera 4S got a DNF and 0 points. The GT3 crawled across the line for second place, but that's all the points he needed to win it all and be the tournament champion.
The team standings have Porsche winning it as well at 22 points to 20. Had the SV managed to cross the line in that final race, that would have tied it up, forcing one last sudden death race. But sadly for us race fans, that didn't happen.
And here you have the tournament winner, the 2019 Porsche GT3. This car was a strong competitor and deserved today's win.
And here is today's winner with Porsche teammate the Carrera 4S. They were the only team to get both cars across the line in any race. And their joint efforts earned them the Manufacturer's Cup. The way this team drove today, they definitely deserve to win it all. And now, as an added bonus, we'll select the MVP Racer, a racer selected by us for their overall performance in today's competition.
I was rooting for the Gallardo, but if you look back at this tournament, it can be no other racer but the 2009 Lamborghini Murcielago LP670-4 Super Veloce, or as we've been referring to it, the SV.
There was a 900-degree spin to take second in race 1. Then the SV easily won race 2. And in race 4, all 661 horsepower were on display with an amazing show of passing power.
And let's not forget, race 5 only got restarted because the SV blocked both Porsches all alone, taking one for the team and causing a 4-way DNF.
Well, fans, that's it from the Scrapyard. If you missed part 1, please go and give it a watch. And if you enjoyed what you saw here, please give us a like. Or even better, subscribe to the Scrapyard and encourage us to hold more events like the one you saw today.
Also, if you like what you saw and have any tips or suggestions for us, leave us a comment. Heck, even if you hated what you saw, go ahead and tell us that too. We work in a scrapyard. We can take it.
But seriously, thank you so much for watching. It means so much to us. From all of me here at the Scrapyard, good night.
You did it!
Did what?
You said me instead of
No,
us.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Let's go to the replay.
The tournament is over. There are no more replays.
Oh, yeah? Well, I heard it, and I bet they heard it too.
The Scrapyard Diecast Racing.